Okay guys, so Captain Marvel clearly had a huge weekend, as we're going to talk about, but things weren't always looking so good with numbers all over the place and certain narratives being pushed on websites and YouTube pages. Well, let's talk about what exactly Captain Marvel just did and why it's so important. So the domestic numbers for Captain Marvel are officially in from various websites. Now these aren't like the official numbers, by Disney down to like the exact amount of cents it made. Those will come in a few days, but generally these are about 1 million up or down either way. So Captain Marvel is reportedly this weekend making $153 million in just the United States alone. Of course, that's the domestic number we're talking about. So you have to consider a few things here. This is right behind Black Panther for, how big it is when it comes to a first film in a franchise, with the actual added benefit that Black Panther wasn't another film and everything. And of course you're looking at this as Captain Marvel is now the biggest female-led franchise in the world, right? This is pretty huge. At the same time, you have to look at some of the other numbers and things that were being said about it to only kind of understand, how big this was. Weeks, maybe even months leading up to this movie, it pretty much had an uphill battle from every certain angle, from daily videos from people saying it's not going to do anything, it's going to bomb, nobody's going to see it, everybody's against it, to various things being twisted out of context. So it was really kind of a unknown factor. The most optimistic number, like in the highest end, people were saying 150 million. So conservatively, people were looking at 120, maybe 130. Disney was coming in at 100 to 120 max. Adding 30 plus million to that is now huge. It's exceeded every expectation that Disney could have possibly set out for it, which is rather huge, all things considered, with the amount of negativity and things that were going on in campaigns against it. So looking at it that way, Captain Marvel is really a victory, all things considered. And it's one of these things where it opened up so big and unexpected, you gotta wonder if it's gonna be able to maintain that for the second weekend. And that's kind of the more important one, right? Like, yeah, the first weekend is huge and it's important, but the second weekend, that's kind of telling the story of the rest of the film. But either way, it's on its way to become a powerhouse.